Hello and welcome to the College Investor Audio Show. Today we take a look at this. Department of Education is going to downsize their headquarters and move buildings. Wonder if it'd be like a cute little tiny home or something. Nice and cozy. Well, we'll take a look at it in just a minute, but first I just want to remind you, anytime you hear a topic on the podcast, you can always find the article associated with it. Just type in the words of the title of the podcast into the search bar and you'll find the article. You can also like us and follow and all the whatever buttons you got to press on social media. Just type in the words The College Investor and you'll find us. All right, are they moving to a tiny home? Let's take a look. So the U.S. Department of Education announced Thursday that it's going to be moving out of its longtime headquarters in Washington, D.C., downsizing to a smaller building. The agency will relocate to a smaller federal office just 1 block away. That'll be a tough one. A move that underscores how much the department has shrunk under the Trump administration's push to dismantle it. The LBJ building, which sits at 400 Maryland Avenue, SW, Southwest, is now approximately 70% vacant following a reduction in force that cut nearly half of the department's workforce. The move is targeted for August of this year, 2026. The headquarters moves designed to cut costs, of course. Under this plan, the Education Department will relocate to 500 D Street, Southwest, a federal building, roughly just a block from its current home, like we mentioned. Just gotta, pack your cardboard box and walk on over there. The smaller footprint is expected to save taxpayers approximately $4.8 million annually in lower rent and operating expenses. Cha-ching! The Department of Energy, meanwhile, will leave its aging James V. Forrestal building and take over the LBJ headquarters. Officials say the Forrestal building requires an estimated $350 million in deferred maintenance. Finally getting to that, are we? This is money the government can avoid spending by moving energy into the LBJ building. Let's forget the maintenance. Just move them. Energy Secretary Wright said in a statement about the move, relocating to the LBJ building will deliver significant taxpayer savings and will ensure the Energy Department continues to deliver on its mission. End quote. GSA Administrator Forst framed the deal as a model for smarter federal real estate management. Quote, "This is the government working smarter for the American people." That's weird. That was not in the quote. I added that. But anyway, he said, adding that the move strengthens the government's overall real estate portfolio. All right, so this whole thing is just a visible reminder of the shrinking of the Department of Education. The headquarters move comes 1 year after President Trump signed an executive order directing the federal government to wind down the Department of Education and shift its functions back to the states. Since that order, the administration has carried out a reduction in force affecting nearly 50% of the department's employees, consolidated satellite offices in the D.C. metro, and transferred oversight of several programs to some other agencies. The result is this: a headquarters building that the administration says is roughly 70% unused. Here's what this means for federal workers and department services. The department said there's really no immediate impact on remaining staff. Employees are going to receive updates from their managers about the logistics of the move in the coming weeks. The logistics are pick up your stuff and then walk over there. The relocation will be phased to prevent interruptions to ongoing work, including management of federal student aid and grant programs. It should just take an afternoon, I would think. Officials stressed that no federal services will be disrupted during the transition. For borrowers and families who interact with the Department of Education, primarily through federal student loans and Pell Grants and such, the move itself should not affect day-to-day service. However, the broader downsizing effort has raised questions about whether a leaner agency can maintain the same level of borrower support and oversight of loan servicers. I suppose that just depends on how the states operate. I'm sure they can figure it out. Anywho, I'm an optimist about this one. Smaller federal bureaucracy, I think, is probably better. Anyway, that's just my humble opinion. If you have a different one, we'd like to hear it. Any comments, questions, concerns, please be gentle and kind and a good human. You can follow us and like us on social media. Just search for the words The College Investor, and we're going to be there for you. You can also see this article, dive deeper into all things federal student loans and Department of Education if that interests you. You're listening to this, so it must. You can find it at thecollegeinvestor.com. Type in the words of the podcast right into the search bar, and you'll find all the information you need. Thanks again for stopping by today, and we'll talk to you again real soon.